If you're over 50, like so many of us, you might be reaching for that bottle of vitamin D supplements thinking it's a simple way to stay strong and healthy as you age. But what if the way you're taking it could actually be doing more harm than good? Maybe you're feeling more tired than usual or noticing some aches that just won't go away, and you're wondering if your supplements are part of the problem. Don't worry, my friend. Today, I'm going to share some gentle insights on common pitfalls with vitamin D and practical habits that may help you approach it in a safer, more balanced way. We'll take it step by step with easy options for whatever feels right for your body. Hello, my friend, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Dr. Sarah Truman, a health coach and wellness educator specializing in senior health and active aging. I'm not a licensed medical doctor, physician, or clinician, and everything I share today is for general educational purposes only. This video is not medical advice, and it's not meant to diagnose, treat, or prescribe anything for you. Please talk to your own doctor or healthcare provider before starting any new exercise, changing your diet, or trying any supplement, especially if you have any health conditions or take medications. Your doctor knows your personal situation best, and nothing I say here replaces their guidance. Everyone's body is different, and what works for one person may not work for another. Results can vary depending on your overall health, lifestyle, and other factors. Today, we're talking about vitamin D and some common ways seniors might be approaching it that could be less than helpful. Vitamin D is often called the sunshine vitamin because our bodies can make it when our skin is exposed to sunlight. It's important for things like supporting bone health, helping with muscle function, and even playing a role in our immune system. As we get older, many of us spend more time indoors. Our skin doesn't make vitamin D as efficiently, and sometimes our diets don't include enough natural sources. That's why so many folks over 50 turn to supplements. But here's the thing. While vitamin D can be beneficial, getting too much or not absorbing it well might lead to issues like fatigue, muscle weakness, or even digestive discomfort for some people. The good news is that small, mindful changes in how we think about vitamin D can often make a difference in how we feel day to day. Here's what we'll cover today to help you feel more confident about this. First, we'll discuss why it's so important to know your own vitamin D levels before making any changes. Then, we'll look at choosing the right form of vitamin D and how to take it with meals for better absorption. After that, I'll share some simple ways to get vitamin D from natural sources like food and safe sun exposure. Next, we'll talk about balancing vitamin D with other nutrients and avoiding the trap of thinking more is always better. We'll also address a few common myths and mistakes that I hear about often. And finally, I'll remind you of some red flags to watch for and when to chat with your doctor. By the end, you'll have some practical takeaways to consider incorporating into your routine at your own pace. Remember, this is all about supporting your wellness in a gentle, sustainable way. Let's start by chatting about why vitamin D matters so much as we age and what might be going on if things feel off. You see, as we enter our 50s, 60s, 70s, and beyond, our bodies naturally change in how they handle nutrients. For instance, our skin becomes less efficient at producing vitamin D from sunlight. It's like an old battery that doesn't charge as quickly anymore. Plus, many of us are more cautious about sun exposure to protect our skin, which is smart, but it can mean we're getting less of that natural boost. On top of that, our kidneys, which help activate vitamin D in the body, might not work as robustly, and if we're not eating a variety of foods rich in it, levels can dip lower than we'd like. This is very common, my friend. You're not alone if you've felt more tired, had some muscle aches, or even noticed your mood dipping a bit during the winter months. Research suggests that lower vitamin D levels are associated with things like weaker bones, reduced muscle strength, and a higher chance of feeling unsteady on your feet, which can affect our confidence in staying active and independent. For example, studies have shown that many seniors indoors or in northern climates often have insufficient levels, and this might contribute to feeling less energetic for daily tasks like gardening or walking the dog. But here's the reassuring part: it's not inevitable. Small lifestyle habits like getting a bit more safe sunlight or choosing certain foods can often help support better levels without overcomplicating things. On the flip side, it's possible to have too much of a good thing. Some people, in trying to make up for what they think they're missing, end up with higher levels than their body needs, which research links to potential issues like nausea, weakness, or even confusion in rare cases. This happens more often with supplements if they're not monitored, especially since our bodies don't excrete excess vitamin D as easily as some other nutrients. It's like watering a plant. You want just enough to help it thrive, but too much can drown the roots. Factors like living in a sunny area but staying inside, certain medications that affect absorption, or even digestive changes with age can all play a role in why levels might be out of balance. The good news is that understanding this can empower you to make informed choices. Everyone's situation is unique. Maybe you live in a place with lots of sunshine, or perhaps you have a condition that affects how your body uses vitamin D. That's why it's so key to approach this personally. New research comes out all the time, and I'm still learning too, but current evidence points to a balanced approach being the way to go for most folks. Small changes, like paying attention to your habits, can often make a noticeable difference in how you feel. How does this resonate with you so far? I'd love to hear in the comments if you've noticed any of these changes yourself. The first thing that may help when thinking about vitamin D is to consider getting your levels checked before starting or changing any supplements. Many people jump straight into taking pills without knowing where they stand, and that can sometimes lead to taking more or less than what's helpful for their body. Research suggests that understanding your baseline can guide better decisions, helping you avoid potential imbalances. Why does this help? Well, vitamin D levels can vary a lot from person to person based on things like your diet, sun exposure, and overall health. If levels are low, supporting them might help with things like bone strength and energy, but if they're already adequate, adding extra might not provide benefits and could even cause mild discomfort for some. It's like checking the oil in your car before adding more. You don't want to overfill it. Here's how you might approach this step by step. First, have an open conversation with your doctor about your concerns. You could say something like, "I've been feeling a bit more tired lately, and I'm wondering if vitamin D could be a factor." They might suggest a simple blood test to see your current levels. It's quick and straightforward. Next, based on what they find, ask about personalized recommendations that fit your lifestyle. Remember, I'm not advising any tests or treatments here. This is just general education to empower you to chat with your healthcare provider. Then, if your doctor gives the green light, you can think about tracking how you feel over time. Maybe keep a simple journal noting your energy levels or any aches, but only if that feels easy for you. Safety is key here. If you have kidney issues, bone conditions, or take certain medications like steroids, this is especially important to discuss with your doctor, as they can affect how your body handles vitamin D. Skip this entirely if your doctor has advised against supplements or testing for any reason. If mobility is a concern, you can even ask about at-home testing options if available, but again, only under your doctor's guidance. Take your time with this. There's no rush. Even just starting the conversation can be a positive step. Some people find that knowing their levels gives them peace of mind and helps them make small tweaks that add up. But remember, results vary, and this isn't a one-size-fits-all thing. Pause the video here if you want to jot down a note for your next doctor's visit. How does this sound? Have you had your levels checked before? Share in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Now that we've talked about knowing your levels, let's move on to something else that can help. Choosing the right form of vitamin D and taking it with food if you and your doctor decide supplements are appropriate. A common oversight is picking any old supplement off the shelf without considering how your body absorbs it, or swallowing it on an empty stomach, which might reduce how much your body actually uses. Why does this matter? There are different forms of vitamin D, D2, which comes from plants, and D3, which is from animal sources and is the kind our skin makes from sunlight. Some research suggests that D3 might be more effective for raising levels in the body, especially for seniors, because it's closer to what we naturally produce. Taking it with a meal that has some fat can help absorption too, since vitamin D is fat-soluble. Think of it like needing a little oil to make paint stick better. Let's break this down step by step if you're discussing supplements with your doctor. First, look for labels that say vitamin D3, often listed as cholecalciferol, rather than D2 or ergocalciferol. But always check with your doctor first to see what form might suit you best, as individual needs differ. Next, try taking it with a meal that includes healthy fats, like avocado on toast, a handful of nuts, or some yogurt. This simple habit might help your body get more out of it. Then, store your supplements in a cool, dry place away from light to keep them potent. Safety notes are important here. If you have digestive issues like Crohn's disease or take medications that affect fat absorption, this could influence how well it works, so mention that to your doctor. Use a pill organizer if it helps you remember, but only if it's easy for you. If swallowing pills is tricky, ask your doctor about liquid forms or gummies, but skip anything if it doesn't feel right. Hold off if you have a history of kidney stones or high calcium levels, unless your doctor approves. There's no need to hurry. Even small adjustments like this can feel empowering. Some folks report feeling a bit more steady after making these tweaks. But again, everyone's experience is different. What about you? Have you noticed a difference when taking supplements with food? Let me know below. Okay, this next one is really important for a natural approach. Incorporating vitamin D from food and safe sun exposure instead of relying solely on pills. Many seniors overlook these everyday sources, thinking supplements are the only way, but blending them in can provide a gentle, balanced boost that supports overall wellness. Why can this help? Foods with vitamin D deliver it alongside other nutrients that work together, like in fatty fish where you get omega-3s too. Safe sun exposure lets your body make its own vitamin D, which some studies suggest is efficiently used. This can be especially helpful for maintaining energy and mobility without overdoing any one thing. Here's a simple way to try this. First, aim to include vitamin D-rich foods in your meals a few times a week. For example, try salmon, mackerel, or tuna. These fatty fish are natural sources. If you prefer, fortified options like milk, orange juice, or cereal can add a bit more. Egg yolks and mushrooms exposed to sunlight are other easy choices. Start small, maybe adding a serving to your breakfast or lunch. Next, for sun exposure, spend 10 to 15 minutes outside midday with arms and face uncovered, a few times a week, depending on your location and skin type. But always protect your skin. Use sunscreen after that short time to avoid burns. If you live in a cloudy area or it's winter, focus more on food. Then, combine them. Perhaps enjoy a walk after eating a vitamin D-rich snack. Safety first. If you have skin cancer history or take photosensitive medications, skip extra sun and stick to food or discuss alternatives with your doctor. Use a hat or seek shade if it's hot, and stop if you feel dizzy. If balance is an issue, sit on a bench instead of walking. This approach feels natural to many, and research associates it with better bone health and mood. But take it slow. Build habits that fit your life. Pause here if you want to think about a food to try this week. I'd love to hear your favorite vitamin D sources in the comments. Before we wrap up the main tips, let's talk about balancing vitamin D with other nutrients and avoiding the idea that more is always better. Sometimes people focus only on vitamin D without considering how it interacts with things like magnesium or vitamin K, or they ramp up the amount thinking it'll supercharge their health, but that can sometimes lead to imbalances. Why is balance key? Vitamin D helps absorb calcium, but without enough magnesium, which many seniors are low in from diet, it might not work as well. Some research suggests vitamin K helps direct calcium to bones rather than arteries. Thinking holistically can support joint and heart health without extremes. Step by step, first, if discussing supplements with your doctor, ask about companions like magnesium from foods such as nuts, seeds, or leafy greens. Don't add extras without guidance. Next, focus on variety. Eat a rainbow of veggies and whole foods to naturally get these helpers. Then, reassess periodically with your doctor to ensure levels stay in a good range. Safety modifications. If you have heart or kidney concerns, this is crucial to mention. Skip additions if you have conditions like hyperparathyroidism unless approved. Even small efforts, like adding spinach to a meal, count. Some find this balanced way leaves them feeling more comfortable. Remember, progress varies. Many people believe that taking high amounts of vitamin D will fix everything from fatigue to aches. But here's what we actually know. Research shows that while adequate levels are important, going way above what's needed can sometimes cause issues like weakness or digestive upset, especially in seniors. It's better to aim for balance through a mix of sources, as current evidence suggests this supports health without risks. Another common myth is that all vitamin D supplements are the same, but as we discussed, forms like D3 might be more effective for some. Gently, if you've been taking D2 without noticing benefits, it could be worth chatting with your doctor about options. No shaming here, we're all learning. One more. Some think sun exposure is dangerous and avoid it entirely, but short protected time outdoors can be safe and helpful for many. Research is ongoing, but avoiding all sun might miss natural benefits. The alternative is focusing on food first, which is a solid, low-risk habit. While these tips may help many people feel more balanced, please see your doctor right away if you experience chest pain or pressure, sudden shortness of breath, dizziness or fainting, sudden weakness or numbness, especially on one side, severe or unusual pain, confusion, excessive thirst, or frequent urination, or anything that feels serious or unusual to you. Trust your instincts. If something doesn't feel right, it's always better to get it checked. Don't ignore symptoms or delay care. Your health comes first. Let's quickly recap what we covered today. First, consider checking your vitamin D levels with your doctor before changes. Second, if supplementing, choose D3 and take with fatty foods for better absorption. Third, include natural sources like fatty fish and safe sun time. Fourth, balance with nutrients like magnesium from whole foods and avoid overdoing it. Remember, you don't have to do everything at once. Start with one small change that feels manageable, like adding a vitamin-rich food to your week, and build from there. Small steps add up over time. Be patient and kind with yourself. Progress looks different for everyone. If you found this helpful, I'd be so grateful if you'd give this video a thumbs up. It helps other seniors find this information too. And if you're not subscribed yet, consider joining our community. I share new videos every week to help you stay strong, healthy, and independent as you age. If you'd like to keep going, I recommend watching my video on gentle daily habits for better bone health next. I'll put the link on screen and in the description. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video.